Imagine fighting for your life in a hospital bed, only to find out your wife was sneaking off to a hotel with another man. That was my reality. And while I struggled to heal, my wife Vivian was building a secret life with someone else. The truth I discovered nearly destroyed me. My name is Matthew, I'm 36, and I never thought my life would collapse while I was lying in a hospital bed. It started with a car accident, a rainy night, slick roads, and a truck that swerved into my lane. I don't remember much except the sound of crushing metal and the blinding pain afterward. When I woke up, I was in the hospital with broken ribs, a fractured leg, and weeks of recovery ahead. Through the haze of medication, the first face I saw was Vivian, my wife. She held my hand and cried like she'd almost lost me. "I'm not going anywhere," she whispered. "I'll be by your side the whole time." I believed her. Of course I did. We'd been married for 7 years. She was supposed to be my partner, my best friend, the one who'd stand by me through sickness and health. My parents, Thomas and Evelyn, visited every day. They praised Vivian for her strength. "You've got yourself an angel," my mom told me. My dad squeezed my shoulder and nodded in agreement. Lying there, battered and helpless, I thought at least I had her. At least Vivian would hold me up until I could stand on my own again. I didn't know then that while my body healed, my heart was about to be torn apart in ways no doctor could fix. The first week, Vivian was perfect. She brought flowers, read to me, even fed me when my hands were too weak to hold a fork. Nurses smiled when they saw her. "You're lucky," one said. Not everyone gets a wife so devoted. She stayed late into the night, sometimes falling asleep in the chair beside my bed. She brushed my hair back, kissed my forehead, whispered, "We'll get through this." When friends asked, I told them Vivian was my rock. My parents praised her endlessly. "She's showing her true colors," my mom said, and I agreed. But slowly, something shifted. The visits became shorter. Vivian started saying she had errands to run, bills to pay, laundry to catch up on. "I'll be back soon," she promised, kissing my cheek. Sometimes soon turned into hours. At first, I understood. Life doesn't stop just because you're in a hospital bed. Someone had to keep the house running. But when she started showing up later and leaving earlier, I felt a sting I couldn't explain. I brushed it off. She was tired. She was juggling everything. I told myself not to be selfish. But deep down, a quiet voice whispered, "Something's wrong." By the second week, Vivian's visits felt more like obligations than love. She brought her phone everywhere, tapping away at messages with a smile I hadn't seen directed at me in months. When I asked about it, she waved me off. "Work. Just trying to stay on top of things." But there was no promotion. No projects she'd mentioned before. Just vague answers and excuses. She stopped bringing flowers. She stopped sitting beside me and instead stood near the door, like she couldn't wait to leave. "Don't you want to stay and watch a movie with me?" I asked one night. She sighed. "I can't, Matthew. I'm exhausted. I'll come tomorrow." Tomorrow came late. Always late. My parents noticed too. "She must be stressed," my dad said carefully. My mom just frowned. "It's strange," she murmured. I told myself they were wrong. I told myself Vivian loved me, but my heart was already learning the truth my brain refused to face. It was a kind nurse who first gave me a clue. She'd been on my floor for weeks, always friendly. One afternoon, she leaned close while checking my IV. "Your wife? She seems to have a lot of company," she said gently. I frowned. "Company?" She hesitated. "I've seen her in the cafe downstairs, laughing with a younger man. He's here often." My chest tightened. What did he look like? Tall, muscular, early 30s, dark hair. Looks like he spends a lot of time at the gym. Jackson. I knew immediately. He was a trainer at the local gym, someone Vivian mentioned in passing a few times. "He gives me tips on workouts," she'd said casually months ago. I hadn't thought twice about it. I forced a smile for the nurse, probably just a friend. But inside, panic clawed at me. Vivian hadn't mentioned seeing him, and why would she be laughing in a hospital cafe with another man while I was upstairs fighting to heal? That night, when she came by, I looked at her differently. She kissed my forehead like always, but it felt rehearsed, hollow, and for the first time, I wondered, was she even mine anymore? The next few days, I became hyper-aware. I watched her every move, listened to every word. One night, I woke to her whispering on the phone in the corner of the room. "I miss you too," she said softly. My heart stopped. "No, he doesn't suspect. I'll see you soon." My chest ached worse than my broken ribs. I closed my eyes, pretending to sleep as tears burned down my face. The next morning, she acted normal. She kissed me, adjusted my blanket, asked if I wanted coffee. Her voice was cheerful, but I couldn't forget the words. I started noticing everything. The new perfume she wore, the way she dressed nicer when she said she had errands, the glow on her face when she checked her phone. My parents still believed she was devoted. My dad called her a trooper. My mom said she was holding the family together. If only they knew. If only they'd heard her voice in the dark the way I had. I didn't confront her. Not yet, because part of me needed more proof, and the proof was coming. It was Jasmine who finally broke the silence. She was like a sister to me, always looking out for my well-being. One afternoon, she visited and closed the door behind her. "Matthew, I don't know how to tell you this," she said, eyes full of pity. My stomach dropped. "Just say it." She hesitated. "I saw Vivian at a hotel with Jackson. They were close. Too close." Her words sliced through me. I already knew, but hearing it confirmed was like bleeding all over again. I covered my face with my hands. Jasmine squeezed my arm. "I didn't want to hurt you, but you deserve to know." I nodded, tears soaking my palm. "Thank you," I whispered. When Vivian came that night, smiling as if nothing was wrong, I could barely look at her. Every touch felt like a lie, every word like poison. I knew then I couldn't stay in this bed waiting for her to come and go. I needed the truth even if it killed me. The next morning, I told the doctor I wanted to be discharged early. He shook his head. "You're still healing, Matthew. It's too soon." But I insisted. "I'll manage. I need to be home." Reluctantly, they agreed. My parents were worried. "Are you sure?" my mom asked. "Maybe wait another week." "I can't," I said firmly. Jasmine picked me up. She helped me into the car, her hand steady on my shoulder. "What are you going to do?" she asked quietly. "Find out for myself," I said. At home, everything looked normal, but I knew better. That night, Vivian kissed me goodbye, claiming she was running to the store. I nodded, pretending not to care. The second she drove off, Jasmine helped me into her car, and we followed. My heart pounded with every mile. My ribs ached, my leg throbbed, but the pain in my chest was worse. When Vivian pulled into a familiar hotel parking lot, my last hope shattered. I watched from the car as Vivian stepped out, her red coat glowing under the streetlights. Jackson was already waiting. He smiled, kissed her like she was his, and wrapped his arm around her waist. I felt sick. Jasmine gripped my hand. "I'm so sorry," she whispered, but I couldn't stay hidden. I pushed the door open and limped toward them, my crutches clicking on the pavement. Vivian froze when she saw me. "Matthew?" Her face drained of color. Jackson stepped back, guilty but not ashamed. "In a hotel parking lot?" I shouted, my voice raw. "While I'm lying in a hospital bed?" she stammered. "It's not what it looks like." "Don't!" I roared. "Don't you dare use that line!" People in the lot turned to stare. Vivian burst into tears. Jackson muttered, "Maybe we should talk somewhere else." "No," I said, trembling. "We'll talk right here in the open, where the world can see the wife who betrayed her husband." While he was fighting to recover, back home the confrontation exploded. "Why Vivian? Why him?" I demanded, pacing the living room. She sobbed. "I was lonely. You were gone and I felt so helpless. Jackson was there for me." "I was in a hospital bed!" I screamed. "You think you were lonely?" "I almost died, Vivian, and instead of standing by me, you ran to another man." She tried to touch me. I pulled away. "It was a mistake," she whispered. "I didn't mean to fall for him." "A mistake?" I spat. "Mistakes don't last weeks. Mistakes don't happen in hotel rooms. This was a choice. Over and over, you chose him." Silence hung heavy. Tears streaked her face, but I felt nothing but rage and grief. "I can't forgive this," I said finally. "Not now. Not ever." Her sobs filled the room, but they couldn't drown out the truth. Our marriage was already dead. The divorce papers came weeks later. I signed them with hands that still shook, but my heart felt lighter. My parents stood by me. My dad said, "You deserve better, son." My mom hugged me tightly. Jasmine checked in every day, reminding me I wasn't alone. Vivian begged one last time. "Please, Matthew, don't throw it all away. We can start fresh." I looked at her, the woman I once trusted more than anyone. "You already threw it away," I said softly. Walking out of that house felt like leaving behind years of love, but also years of lies. Recovery was slow. My ribs healed. My leg got stronger. But the real healing was inside me. Learning that betrayal doesn't define you, and heartbreak doesn't have to end you. I don't know what the future holds, but I know this. I will never let someone make me feel small again. Vivian may have broken our vows, but she didn't break me. And one day, I'll find someone who knows the meaning of loyalty.
Betrayal hurts the most when it comes during your weakest moments. Matthew fought to recover, but Vivian chose another man instead of standing by her husband. What would you do if you found out your partner cheated while you were in a hospital bed? Would you forgive, or would you walk away forever? Let us know in the comments. And if this story broke your heart, the next one will leave you speechless. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Until then, remember, love without loyalty isn't love at all.